You're watching Tea and Poetry with Dave Steele, the blind poet.
Hey, how are you?
I am very good. Good evening.
Good evening. Want to welcome everyone to another afternoon, or even if you want to call it, of Tea and Poetry. It's great to be here. Hope everyone is staying safe, healthy, and it's great to see some very familiar faces out there. Some faces that we haven't seen in a while have joined us this afternoon. It's great to see Allison, Jennifer, Maria, all the way from Italy, Sandy, Val, and the list goes on. So really want to welcome everyone. I want to just go through quickly here and get the party started. And then I'm going to step away for about 5 to 7 minutes, and then I will come right back. So I'm going to hand over the reins to you, Dave, in just a few moments, and I will return shortly after. So before we go any further, I just want to remind everyone that there are a couple ways that you can interact with us, and we really encourage individuals, everyone out there, to interact, because we want this to be a platform where people are connecting, and hopefully you can take some of these relationships and really cultivate them, maybe even outside of tea and poetry as well. So I do want to encourage that. And I also just want to say that we received some suggestions since, from time to time we receive suggestions.
Sorry, I'm just going to stop you right there. Can we turn the captions on?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Stop you right there.
Yes. So, okay, captions are on. So thank you for that reminder. So, from time to time, we receive suggestions on how to always make things better. And I just want to put this out there is that we're going to do a little bit of research on how to make this work. I got to see if we have to change whether the type of session we have on Zoom, but whatever the bottom line is, I want to see if we can have everyone having video on. Of course, if they choose to have video on, everyone will be muted like they always are, but it would be nice to see if we can have everyone with their video on in the future. And then, of course, when people do come on and they do connect with us and interact with you, then they'll be able to fully speak. But I think it'd be nice for everyone, if you have a level of sight, to be able to see the reactions and the facial expressions and what else is going on here. And I want to try and see if we can be more inclusive and make this a more of a warmer group. So this was a suggestion that came through, and I want to take that suggestion and make it happen. So just want to put that out there first. Let's see what else. So again, you can, we encourage everyone, of course, to interact. You can raise your hand. When you do raise your hand, like Travis normally does, Travis is not here this week. He sent me a personal email that he apologized. He's not going to be here. We miss you, of course, Travis. So you can raise your hand. That means we're going to bring you on. Of course, you can send a message through the Q&A and also through the chat. I am monitoring all three options there. And again, really want to encourage everyone to interact. Come on, don't be afraid. If you only want to use audio, that's great. Audio and video as well, even better. So we just want to make this a better place where it's more enjoyable for everyone and more interactive. So without further ado, I am going to hand it over to Dave, and I will be back momentarily.
Before you do that, as you're going to leave me for 7 minutes or so, yes. I would like to make it interactive right from the start. There is someone who I know is on the call because she sent me a message beforehand, okay. And I'd like, if it's okay with her, to bring her on in for the interim for a little bit of a special chat. We'll call her a special guest because she is very special to me. But I believe you know who I'm talking about.
I do not.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe. There are a lot of special. This is a special group in itself. So a lot of special people out there.
This is the person that connected us.
Yes, that I know exactly this. Okay, Barb, I'm bringing you on. Like, boom, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm bringing Barb, you're coming on, and
there is a reason for this, Barb. So you have to bear with me. And
hey, Barb, how are you?
Howard.
How you doing?
Fine.
Excellent.
Good.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year as well.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you guys. I'm gonna turn my light down. Okay,
Thank
there
you.
we go.
There you
They
go.
can see me a little bit better.
I have to step aside literally for just a few
Yeah,
minutes. I will
you
be
can
back.
leave us. Me and Bob are good. We've
Good.
got the reins for a minute.
Take it away. I'll be right
Okay.
back.
We got this.
We have got this. So there was a reason. I'm glad you're on. First of all, Happy New Year.
Okay. Happy New Year.
Now, for those people who are listening in, you've probably heard me talk about Barb for a long time now, with lots of different stories. Barb seems to be the person that always is there just at the right time to kind of make things happen. Barb was the one who organized and connected me with Barry and organized the beginning part of the tour. And did a lot of work beforehand as well. But we've spoke about that quite a lot on here. And also, you are the person who got the book started back up again. I'm going to give you credit for that, for Austin's Amazing Adventures. But actually, I don't know. Are you one of these who checks your Facebook memories quite a lot?
I do. I do check. Paul,
have you had a look at
questions.
Have you had a look at your Facebook memories today?
I have not. What popped up?
So I think it was 6. Let me just check. I'm going to swipe up a second just so I can. I'm still here. I'm just going to check something. Just 1 second. You can hear me still, can't you?
We can. I just mute myself every now and then because
that's okay.
I have Paul and Katie in the background.
I understand how that can go. Yeah. So let me just have a quick look here. Here we go. That is okay. 4 years.
Wow, 4 years.
So 4 years ago today. So I'm just coming back on here, so it's finding my way back on. There we go. I'm back. Okay, so 4 years ago today, you sent me a video of you signing ASL to My Blind Secret.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that was the first one.
Wow, that was before we officially met. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. So 4 years ago today. So just for those people who are listening out there, so we'll kind of get you to explain it a little bit. So tell everyone how you first found out about me and my poetry.
Okay. And then I can explain why I was signing your your poem. But yeah, I had just been diagnosed and I was really struggling with depression and just anger from being diagnosed with RP. And my sister was online trying to figure out if there was like a community or was anybody talking about it. And she came across one of the poems that you had posted on another blind community page. She doesn't remember which one. And she sent me this message and kind of like a screenshot of your poem. And she's like, Dave Steele is this guy, Barb, that you need to go follow. And she had me read the poem. The poem, like, you know, we have a thing over here where you say where I was completely shook. Like I didn't know how to process the emotions that was in the poem because I had never really talked about it and how it made me feel. And I never really had the words to explain what it was like to go blind. Like it wasn't in my vocabulary or in my emotions at the time. So I kind of ignored it, you know, for about a week. And then I went and found your Facebook page. And it was, you know, I think it was the Stand By Me RP page. And yeah, so then I started following you. And then I think it was sometimes that year, I was a part of a local group here in Charleston called the ASL Deaf Slam, and that was basically a poetry group. And we would go, and in ASL, we would sign and do different poems. Well, we had gotten an opportunity to go speak at a bookstore, a local bookstore, the group of us. A lot of people came. It was bigger than what we were used to. And that was when I reached out to you and I said, can I use your poem and, record me signing this poem because it was my favorite one. And of course you said, sure, that's fine. And then I sent the video to you. But yeah, so that's how I came across Dave and how I came across, and obviously why I was out there signing your poem to begin with was an ASL Death Slam.
That poetry slam was it was a big thing for you at the time as well, wasn't it? It was
yeah.
for your confidence and kind of getting back to who you are, and it was a real big thing for you to do that. And I remember clearly getting the video from you and then calling you.
Oh my goodness, that was so nerve-wracking because Dave was a bit of a celebrity rather than a friend at that time. And so when I saw that you were calling, I was like, surely he butt dialed. Like, I'm like, I don't know if I should answer it, and I did, and it was you and Amy. And I just, oh man, I don't think I had ever gotten so instantly nervous in my life when I saw you and Amy come on my screen. And I was like, oh my word, looking at me. And so we're good friends and easy to be around you and Amy. So that's good.
It's family now, isn't it? And actually, we got your Christmas card yesterday.
Oh my goodness, that's how long it took.
It literally arrived yesterday, so thank you very much. And the picture's beautiful, by the way. That must be an American thing, I think, is sending pictures of the family with cards. It's definitely an American thing.
Is it not a big thing over there?
It's not even a thing.
Do you hear that, Paul? No, everybody does it here. I have entire door lined with like 30 different family pictures from people. So
yeah, I was going to say, obviously we've got a few American friends now, and we do often get and obviously family as well. I've got family out in the States, and my niece who lives in Delaware, obviously she often sends pictures with cards and things as well. So we do now.
Yeah.
So we normally kick off with a piece of poetry. I was going to wait until Barry comes back, but I've got enough poetry to do several pieces tonight. And you've not been on for a little while, so I'd like to kind of read you a piece. You may have read these already. I don't know how busy you've been, but I wrote a couple of pieces, one today, one yesterday. Getting kind of back into my writing again now as things start to get busy again. Mm-hmm. And the piece that I wanted to read, first of all, I'm gonna start with this one because it kind of touches on what we were just talking about a second ago with regards to how you were feeling at the beginning of your journey with your diagnosis. And even though it's been a while now for you and you've come a seriously long way, and you're doing amazing things, and obviously it's been a long time since I've been at the beginning of that. I always, as I speak to quite often, like to think back to those times because there's always someone there at the beginning who needs the support. Everyone virtually on this call has some kind of experience of discovering my poetry, and that's kind of what brings us together with Team Poetry. And I always like to kind of reach more people who need to hear it at that time. But the other reason I wrote this is obviously the last couple of years with COVID and the pandemic, I think everyone's had to deal with isolation. in some shape or form, and mental health has obviously been a big part of that. And even those, I think I've gone through it certainly in the last couple of years of feeling more isolated at times with lockdowns and things like that. And I actually found out a couple of nights ago, you'll remember a few years ago, I won a Pride of Bury award, which was a local kind of charity that did these awards. And everyone voted for me. I think you voted about 100 times. And when I did those awards, they were run by a charity called Super Josh. And the lady who was running the charity was a lady by the name of Dawn Fiddler. And she, her son, Josh, passed away a few years ago. He was terminally ill. And she started the charity in his name, and she did a lot of amazing work, working with different families, and they would drop Christmas presents off to a children's hospice, and for people who were terminally ill, and a lot of work. Well, we found out a couple of nights ago that Dawn passed away on Saturday, just gone, and it kind of hit me a little bit, because when I spoke to some of her friends, apparently a lot of it was down to how she was feeling with isolation due to COVID. So it kind of, I wanted to touch on it with this piece of poetry, but I'm sure we can all kind of relate to this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to open with this. Let's start the conversation about the way too many feel. Living with isolation, the effects are oh so real. Yet people often struggle, like they're the only one. Some of us in silence, and others who are gone. But mental health is not something that is something that we should not deny. I know it's hard to talk sometimes, but whilst I'm here, I'll try. For I don't mind admitting that I've made some big mistakes. And whilst you all were sleeping, I was worrying awake. I've pictured every aspect of how my life might be if tomorrow, one day soon, my eyes no longer see. I try to not get panicked as the little left now fades. The demons in my mind spin around and get replayed. But I know that these feelings always, but I know these feelings always pass as new day dawns. The strength in me is found once more, my courage is reborn. I've realized that I am more than blindness takes from me. There's more to life than seeing. That's what my heart's telling me.
That was good.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm people can put in the comments and stuff as we always do. Normally Barry's taking notes.
I'm here. I'm back. I'm back, but no notes on that one.
That's okay. I've got another piece saved just for you, which I'm going to do in just a second.
Okay,
So
that
I want to talk about that today. I want to get people interactive. We'll let Barb go in a second to get back to the family. I didn't want to put her on the spot, but I did. But yeah, I wanted to talk about the last time anyone really struggled with isolation, or if anyone's been feeling any feeling alone at the moment. I've had some messages recently from people reaching out to me and told them about tea and poetry, so I wanted to bring it up just in case there was anyone that I've spoken to over the last few days that's on the call. Before we do that and we get interactive, we can send Barb back now. Barb, thank you very much for coming and filling the gap.
You're welcome.
You're
welcome. Anytime, you guys.
This was unexpected that I have to step out for a few minutes, and you saved the day for me. Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you. I want to ask you, can I ask you one quick question? How was Oklahoma?
Oklahoma was amazing and surprisingly hot on Christmas Day.
Wow.
It was 80 degrees.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
That's nice. Okay, excellent. Be well. Good to see you. Regards to the family. Take care.
Thanks, Barb. So I do want to get interactive. Before we do that, I have got another piece of poetry I want to read straight away. I know there's going to be people talking about that last piece of poetry and wanting to come on and speak and say things in the chat. But before we do, I wrote this piece of poetry, Barry, with kind of us in mind. and more more than that, the LD Chesapeake Lighthouse in mind.
Okay.
And you'll see exactly why when I read it. Okay, here we go. It wasn't always like this. I didn't always feel this strong. When I was told that I'd go blind, the world said I don't belong. Employers made excuses. My worth they could not see. To hide the numbers unemployed with disability. The only thing we're good for is a symbol to inspire. They're blind to see what's in our minds, a reason they should hire. But I have vowed to change this in any way I can. I'll show them beyond my white cane stands a stronger man. It's our challenges that shape us, gives us goals and molds our steel. And these are skills and attributes to the whole world will reveal. So remember, you are so much more than the challenges you deal with. The tests that we've embraced and faced are reasons we can give. Together, we can reduce the disabled and employment rates. It's time to change our minds. It's time the world we educate.
I'm still writing notes.
Yeah, also.
That was a very nice piece. Just that is a new piece that just hot off the press.
Written this morning.
Wow. There are so many different things that can like stand out. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different things that stood out. I would say skills and attributes, 2 words there that are what stands out to me. And I think everyone is, I mean, there's so many takeaways from everything that you say always, Dave, but I want to say skills and attributes. A lot of people here and amongst the entire sight loss community have incredible skills and attributes and talents that are being underutilized for whatever the reason may be, whether it's sight loss, whatever's going on, whatever, if there's an underlying issue. And I want to just, say, having the ability to work with you, Dave, and to work with so many other people within the sight loss community, there is so much talent out there. I've been fortunate to work with you, and again, I don't want to start, going off and name dropping, but those people know who they are, and and if you have a talent, and we're all talented, but if you have something that you always dreamed of doing, I want to just express it. It's not too late. It's never too late, and don't let sight loss, get in the way as far as saying that you can't accomplish. You can accomplish, and the world needs to see these skills, those talents, and those attributes. Show them what you are, like you said, beyond the white cane. White cane is just a tool. I'm holding in my hand a pencil. That is a tool for me to write. A mobility cane is a tool to help guide you and get you from point A to point B. So take your talents, don't be shy, go out there, push the boundaries, and make things happen. There are so many, everyone out there has got some great talents. You know what those talents are.
A couple of points I want to make with that. First of all, you're exactly right what you just said there. I always say that disability isn't a reason to do less. It's an excuse to do less. It's a reason to do more. And that's really, really important. On the flip side of that, what I was trying to say, a big part of that poem is a lot of we talk about the high unemployment rate within the low vision and blindness community, but also within the disability community in general. And a lot of that is down to a lack of awareness, education, the misconceptions that employers believe. And actually, one of the big things I was trying to make with this poem, which doesn't get actually spoke about enough, is forget talents for a second. Forget skills and qualifications for a second. But actually, for anyone who has lived with these kind of challenges, disability, low vision, blindness, whatever you want to call it, it gives you some kind of steel. It gives you a determination. It gives you a strength that is only really shown in people when they're actually tested in the way that living with a disability tests a person. So actually, this is something that employers forget very often, is actually these people who, the interviewing who, are living with a disability or living with different challenges are actually, they've been through some stuff, and they tend to be stronger than the people that aren't affected. But often, people see it as a weakness wrongly, than actually seeing it as a great sign of strength. And actually, these people have something really about them. And I think it needs to be seen more.
Absolutely. And like you said, time to change, time to educate. That is a big part of our mission here. Time to change, time to educate. Education comes in all different mediums. And, when we're not on TM Poetry, obviously we are quite busy going our daily lives and work. But a big part of that underlying message is all about change and education. So there are things, I wear this red bracelet. It's, low vision U ambassador. People ask me, what is that? It's got Braille on here. What is that? It's a conversation piece. It allows me to start a conversation. And I come in contact with a lot of people on a daily basis who have never, I don't say they're just unfamiliar with the sight loss community. They come in contact with someone who's blind, but they don't know. And so this is a big part of the message. What you've just said, Dave, is ingrained in our DNA, and I'm just grateful that we're here on this message, on this mission together. I'm going to bring on Robert here, by the way.
Yeah, please do. Okay. Absolutely.
Robert, I'm going to bring you on here and promote you as a panelist.
So while you're bringing him in, there's two topics for this week, which kind of link into each other. I want to hear from people their experiences where they've maybe had some kind of wrong judgment from an employer, been held back from getting a job that really they could do standing on their head, and actually how these things and this lack of education all leads back to people feeling isolated, which is something that we're trying to stop in everything that we do.
Yep. Robert, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. Thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations to all the hard work that you are doing with everything that you are presenting, all your presentations in school. I mean, kudos to you. I would love,
thank you.
If you're open to it, I'd love for you to share with everyone what you're up to.
Last semester I did 4 presentations for up to about 300 people on adaptive technologies. A lot of students who never even seen a person who is blind did not understand that my vision is variable depending on light sources. I also did it for the local college's tutoring department so they can use the presentation for people with digital eye strain. That is actually something that people with CADIS degrees and stuff like that help with. They didn't realize that a headache looking at a computer is actually a visual issue, not just they got a headache.
Yeah.
So it's been there. I'm about to become an intern with the college, helping students try to figure out ways to lessen their eye fatigue and lessen their strain on their eyes. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, and I'd love for you to share with everyone how you've been using Dave's, including Dave's poetry in some of these presentations.
If you want to, of course, you can use. I sent you the YouTube link to the presentation. You can use it any way you want. I mean, that's what it was built for, was for people to see that have never been with the blind or never understood the blind, to see what it's like and what, how they could help. I go into the sighted guides and everything else.
Amazing work.
Can I ask you, Robert, what's the response been like when you've been doing these presentations? What are the sort of questions or feedback you've been getting from these people?
One lady that was in my class, it was so wonderful that she came up to me and goes, "I have halos." And I'm like, "Yeah, I do too." And she's like, "You're the first person I've ever been able to describe a halo to people other than me, that what I live with." You sat there and figured out a way to present halos so that they can understand it.
Right.
They understood the glare issues that I have. That the fact that I go from 20 over 400 to 20 to 2,500 based on lighting.
Yeah.
That most of it was a lot of 19-year-olds and 18-year-olds that never knew about, eye strain and how to fix monitor screens and how those things can affect their blindness and how they need to get their eyes checked. That kind of stuff. I'm also going to be doing the presentation possibly for the local police department because they've never dealt with a lot of people that are blind.
Interesting.
That presentation could be a good entryway for them to understand the blind. I didn't go into a lot of details, but like one of the big things I did was the black cane law. How the white cane versus the black cane. How a lot of the friends in the community, are worried about wearing a white cane because in urban areas they consider it a threat because they're bad witnesses. Because they can't see who the person is.
Wow. Okay.
But that's just something I've been in a lot of conversation with. But what I came on to talk to you guys about, you guys were talking about that 4 years ago, I went into my surgeries. I spent 2 years isolated into my house because of the surgeries. At the time I came out, they asked me if I wanted to go back to work. I said, yes, that's the whole point, me going back to work. They said, well, the state of Kansas would not pay for my re-education because my wife makes a decent living. I don't qualify. But if I would go on disability, therefore they take her out of the equation and I can get retrained. I can go to graduate school by the state funding it. All I had to do was apply for disability. But in the process, it took 12 months to get on disability. So then I was another year of waiting before I could get back into training. So another year of unemployment while I was waiting. Because
what were the effects on that on your mental health during that period?
My wife said I was getting cranky. Because it was annoying. I could go back to work. I just need the training. I need to learn how to do my technologies. I need to learn how to adapt. And you're like, well, you can't do it unless I declare you're broken. I had to declare in front of the government that I am no longer able to work. I could. I just need training.
And I know how that process works here in the UK because obviously that was I went through that right at the beginning of my kind of diagnosis and feeling. I found the process here quite demoralizing and degrading at some points with the way you had to fill out the forms. And you had to fill out the forms to, in the worst case scenarios, in order to get the help that you deserved. The system was broken.
I went through the first process and got approved initially, but it was completely annoying. I'm legally blind. There's no way to hide it.
Yeah.
But it took 12 months to prove it.
Well, exactly. That's exactly what I went through. And this is still the case now here in the UK. I had to fill in forms. And I had to put on the forms that I was unable to go to the bathroom unaided.
Huh.
Yeah.
And you have to fill the forms out in this way in order for you to actually get the support that you need. It should be the case that when you are certified legally blind, or as it is here in the UK, severely sight impaired, that should automatically qualify you for a certain level of support. But
when I went
that's not the case.
Sorry.
No, go on.
When I went through the application process, I had one retinal surgeon, the probably best retinal surgeon in the Midwest. I had 2 optometrists and 1 psychologist, all declared me disabled.
Right.
And that still took 12 months.
Yeah.
Now, people that don't have that background, that have maybe a local doctor doing it could take, and I did some research on, in Arizona, to go through all the steps, it could take 4 years to get on disability.
Wow.
So yeah, I actually joked with them. I'm like, what do you want me to do? Walk into a wall? How can I prove to you that I'm blind?
Yeah.
They had to go through, and then they had to go through like third-party verification that I'm not lying. I'm like, it's kind of hard to fake.
It's a massive thing that needs changing. And I've started. I've done campaigns here in the UK a few years ago. Petitions, building up lots of signatures to try and get them to look at it in Parliament. But it's the process isn't designed to actually do what it's supposed to do.
The disability is not bad. It's just the process of getting on disability.
Yeah, exactly.
It is broken.
And you do feel like you're in limbo which can add, well, it does add to the isolation even more.
Well, and then the depression because you can't work. If you work, therefore you don't get a disability because they say, well, you're working, so you don't need it. So you have to spend this whole time not able to make money and hope to God you find someone who can help you and, you know, pay your food, give you a home because you're not making money.
Right. So yeah, it's time to change, time to educate politicians, right?
And that's one of the reasons why in my section of my presentation I go into that. I mean, because it's stupid.
Yep.
Well, there should be certain diseases that go, oh, you're blind, check mark. You know what I mean?
Yep. No, I appreciate being part of this. And I know you had sent us an email earlier that you have a schedule change, so you're not gonna be able to participate on a frequent basis. So we will miss you.
I thought I should probably tell you guys not show up.
Thank you. I want to tell you there are a lot of people who are part of this group. When they can't make it, they do send emails, and it's nice to see that, to see how much everyone cares about being part of this group. And one of the things that I said early on, and for those who didn't hear it when we first started, I want to try and I got to figure out how we change the platform a little bit here, where we can see everyone's video. You may not be able to speak until we call upon you, but we want to be able to, have everyone's video active so we can be more closer and more interactive with each other.
I think that's a setting on your Zoom meetings, because when I'm in college, when we're doing all of our college classes from online, that function works. So I think it's a Zoom setting.
What I will say is, if we are going to change that to that kind of setting, it's not going to be compulsory, because I know there are some people out there that like to sit there, especially here in the UK, sit there in their pajamas and just kind of listen in, not being seen. So if we do switch that settings, we're not going to make people switch the cameras on if they don't want to.
When the setting is on, if you get into it, it'll ask you if you want to be on or not.
Yeah.
So it'll give you that option once you enter the meeting. Just so you know, I mean, I've been taking 2 semesters online, so
yeah,
it's possible.
I'm gonna.
But thank you.
We're gonna take a poll right now, actually, in a few minutes, if people
let's do that. Let's do that. Listen, Robert, before you go, I just want to say massive thank you for doing what you're doing, and for also including my poetry within the presentations, because I'm always looking at ways to reach more people every day, and anyone that helps, I'm very much very thankful for. So
I apologize for saying David instead of Dave when I made the presentation.
I can be called David or Dave. It's fine. It's fine.
I was a little nervous.
I normally got called David when I'm in trouble, but yeah, you're all good there.
All right. Thank you so much for letting me be on.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Be well, Robert. Good luck. Keep up the great work.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm just working on creating that poll right now.
Yeah, do it.
Does anyone else that would like to join, of course, come on, please raise your hand. Just give me a moment here, and I'm going to have this poll.
Doreen. I know Doreen's out there.
Yeah, I want to actually, I just want to say thank you to Doreen. Doreen has been so ambitious in inviting and getting, just inviting people to join. She sends me all the time, Barry, can you add this person? Can you add this person as far as to register them for TM Poetry? So I do see some of those faces out there who Doreen had requested. So welcome everyone to all the new faces.
And also, if Alison would like to come on,
I would love to. You beat me to it, Dave. I would love to see. I would love to hear from Alison. It's been a while. Alison, if you're okay, we'd love to bring you on. So, Alison, please, if you're okay with it, raise your hand. I don't want to just
absolutely
bring you on. So, let me see. We have some here in the chat. I just want to read from Philip. Dave, your life experience and your words, your poetry are most supportive to let me look up. I can't thank you enough. I need you and I need everyone in this group. It's really nice, Philip. Thank you so much. Christina says to you, Dave, do you know that January is Braille month? Absolutely. We definitely knew that. Absolutely.
Louis Braille.
In fact,
we had a lot of shares last week.
Yep.
Talking about Austin's Amazing Adventures, because that obviously features Braille, and and then obviously we're going into February soon. February is Low Vision Awareness Month and also Retinitis Pigmentosa Awareness Month.
Yes, that is correct. Let's see what people. All right, so the poll was just created. I'm going to bring it on right now. Let me need to edit it. Hold on one second, guys. Sorry about that. This is a real impromptu piece here that I want to add on. But if anyone would like to join, please raise your hand. Don't be shy. It's a great opportunity to join us and come on. Cindy's going to come on. Oh, maybe, yeah, Cindy's coming on.
Awesome.
Cindy, I'm bringing you on right now. Thank you. Hey, there you are.
Did I do it? Oh my God. Hi.
You got it. Good. How are you? Welcome.
Thank you. I'm
You're
so
welcome.
happy to be here.
We're happy to have you here.
Not the highest on the technology, but David shows things can be done. So it's a good thing. And Doreen and Insight, because I'm with Doreen Holmes in the yoga group.
That's right.
Yes. Yes, I'm legally blind too, and I'm trying to persevere because I want to also become a productive person and help other people.
That's very nice.
Yes, I do. We got to encourage each other, because one kind word to someone when they're having a bad day will get them to be able to get back up and keep going forward.
Well, you are you're definitely with the right group of people there. Where you are in Rhode Island, the Insight are a great team and doing amazing.
Yes. Thank God for them. They get us all linked together so we can help one another and stay strong, and give us potential and show us what we can do.
There's a lot of potential here.
Well, I think that's a great word, actually. But when you use the word potential, people often forget the potential that they have, or they don't see it. They get so consumed in, all the things that are maybe holding them back, and the misconceptions. They actually forget to see actually their own potential, and we need to remind people of the amazing things you can still do despite any lack of vision in your eyes. With the right support and the right technology, nothing can hold you back.
Absolutely, because one of the biggest things at one point was transportation, because I have friends that would help me, like drive me here. If I could walk somewhere, I try to be independent. But then at one time, those friends got sick, and I was like, oh my God, how am I going to help them? I felt stuck. I felt trapped. But then little by little, I was introduced by Doreen to the Ride Bus program, because I was ready to take cabs. I was going to do anything I could do to help others that have been helping me. And Doreen, it took a while because I'm not good with paperwork. I get anxiety. But when I learned the white cane training, Melissa came. My friend was there helping me fill it out. She said, yep, here I am. I signed it. You got your other two doctors as secondary. Stand at that wall. Click. There's your photo ID. Boom. I was approved in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Because of Ride Bus program, I've been able to help my good friend who's been helping me, who was down for the count, and I'm so grateful. Plus, it gets me places like Insight and stepping out of the box to go to doctor's appointments and to become even more independent.
Amazing.
You've got a real good community there, it sounds like. Oh, well, I know you have, because I've been there. I was actually speaking to Doreen a couple of days ago and saying about how much I miss Rhode Island and can't wait to come back to Insight.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm not the best with technology, so I don't know if you can still hear me.
We hear you.
Oh, okay. I messed up something, but I'm afraid to touch anything. I have a good friend, my roommate, Pat, who was here. She was all excited to see you. And now I got this big black thing here.
It says video on. I would prefer, I don't have my glasses on.
Oh, God, video.
Do I hit yes or no?
The duration of tea and poetry.
Oh, that's the
okay, yeah.
You can either hit yes and then or no and then close it down.
Okay, would you prefer that everyone have a video? I'll just hit yes. What the heck?
I'm
I've
just
gone
sticking
this
my
far.
nose in as I walk by.
That's okay. I don't know how to hit yes. Oh dear.
Let me try,
I'll
Cindy.
put some light on
No,
for you.
I'm hitting it too, Cindy. It's
Okay.
not you. It's not going.
Well, I'll just put some light on.
I love this.
Let's see that where it says close, Cindy? There you
Yeah.
go.
Oh,
There we
Okay,
go.
up here it had closed. You just hit that. Hi, how you doing?
Hi, we're doing good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent.
My friend is so excited to be on here,
Oh,
so I'm
yeah.
gonna leave her alone. I
Oh,
was
you
just
can
walking
say-
by. I wanted to say hi.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Helps me too. She takes me
She's a
places.
wonderful person.
She encourages me to, and we have pets here. Boots the cat, who might come on sometime and talk to you. This is-
We've,
Minx the
I was going to say,
cat
we've not had
and-
a cat.
Oh, cats are awesome. Animals are fantastic. Let me tell you, when you're having a bad day, nothing like
Oh,
them.
I've got my guide
we
dog,
have-
Christopher. I was going to say, we've not had a
Aw.
cat as a guest on Tea and Poetry yet.
Oh, well, we have to have one day when we can put his face on. And actually, we have Destiny, the dog, who does upward and downward facing dog. She stays right by my side and waits for me to tell her if it's okay to go down a stair. She's so smart.
That's incredible.
Yep. And Minxie, my beloved cat, she kisses me and takes care of me. And these animals are amazing.
That is
Too bad
amazing.
they can't see you, Bootsy. Go ahead, Bootsy.
Yeah.
You see Boots?
I don't know
No,
if
we
they can
can't.
see him.
No, your video
Oh.
is not
The
on.
camera's on.
I mean, if he gets in, okay, yeah, well, he's better to put the cats on instead of me sometime. But I'm trying to take steps forward because one thing I've learned is always try to look good. I've learned to try to dress better because I got into a slump, but I always try to fix myself up and become the best I can be. And I've got people at Insight that motivate me because one very good friend, she shows me I can go to ceramics. I'm sitting there like, I can't do this. But then I see my other good friend making this tree and she can't see. I said, she gives me motivation, like to go and paint a picture. If somebody that can't see, then do it. And I'm legally blind and I'm limiting myself, then
Right.
that's a handicap.
Right. So I just want to share if you participated in the poll, which most of you have. First of all, I just want to say that we cannot see who's participating and we don't see anyone's answers. So it's a poll that we just see the results. So if you haven't done it yet, click on the poll. I'm sure it either popped up or you can click on it. But right now, the poll is saying that 77% of you out there who are part of this amazing group would prefer if everyone had their video on throughout the duration of Tea and Poetry, so you can better interact with all the participants. So I'm grateful for the person that sent in this request, and we're going to see how we can implement this now. So hopefully it should be an easy implementation.
Before we send Cindy back, we've got a little bit of a tradition here on Tea and Poetry, Cindy, that whenever we get a new member come on and speak to us for the first time, I always like to read them a piece of poetry.
Oh, I would love that.
So I've got a short piece for you, and from what you've just told me, this kind of fits really well. I wrote this literally about 2 days ago, so this is the first time reading it. But I wanted to talk about how I'm at the last stage of my sight. The little bit that I've got is now starting to kind of really decline now quite quickly. And I wanted to kind of write a piece that really talks about that, but also how that doesn't change the strength that's in me. So here we go. This is for you.
Thank you.
The world is getting darker as I'm losing how I see, but there is still a light that's bright inside the heart of me. I won't let blindness change me, how I love this life of mine. The vision in my mind won't be a thing you'll see decline. So follow my example. If in this you're feeling lost, it's not as scary as first thought when that blurred line is crossed. There's more to life than seeing. There's beauty to be found. It's more a sense of feeling than perfect sight or sound. Though I'm not done yet grieving, this thing that's almost gone won't falter in believing. My life will carry on.
Oh, that is awesome. Thank you so much. I'm so honored.
Thank you for joining us, Cindy.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cindy. Look forward to seeing you next week and many more.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So let me go ahead and send you back. I think this is great. I see a lot of people interacting here on the chat. Really great to see this. Really, really nice. So yeah, very, very happy about that. Let's see what else. I'm gonna move my camera over here a little bit. Excuse my lineup of my desk, but there are a number of things that are up on the wall. Some pictures. I'm gonna keep them like that. Many pictures of Dave, actually.
Do you know what? Listen, I've got a bone to pick with you, Barry. You've still not sent me the pictures I asked for.
There's a reason.
Okay.
There's a reason.
Okay.
No, so we're going through photo selections right now. When Dave was in town, we did a photo shoot. I'll hold this up here. I'm holding up a picture of Dave here, standing with his mobility cane. Yeah, we've narrowed things down quite a bit, and yeah, we're very, very excited about this. So
I hope some of these are for the website as well.
Absolutely, one of my favorites right over here.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so really great picture. It is Dave holding his beloved Austin's Amazing Adventure and his arms wrapped around it. Really, really nice. So
right here.
There it is. I got mine here on my desk as well. So buried under some paper. So voila.
There you go.
Yep. Austin's Amazing Adventure shipping around the world. So
can I just say, I've had so many messages over the last week of people receiving books and people ordering, schools, more schools using them. And yeah, the response is already been incredible, and there's so much more to come this year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a lot of incredible stuff in the development right now. Can't wait to make some additional announcements for those people on the West Coast. That's all. I'll stop right there. And we'll stop right there. And yes, really exciting times. So Dave, I know we're getting close to we're coming to the 5 o'clock hour. Again, I can't believe where time just continues to fly by. Do you have a piece of poetry? Actually, before we close it out, if anyone else wants to come on, please do so now. Okay, someone wants to know, how do I remove? Okay, so someone had asked if they're able to remove the live transcript, and to my knowledge, an individual cannot remove them. The reason why we have the live transcript on the video is to accommodate those with not only sight loss, but also with hearing loss. So individuals out there who have Usher syndrome, and we want to be able to make sure that we are fully inclusive and being able to provide everyone with the right tools so they can also fully participate and enjoy this to the maximum. I'm going to see if there's a way for you to remove it as an individual, but to my knowledge, you cannot. Closed caption type privilege. I'm trying to. I'm trying to think. Participant has raised. No. I don't see a way how we can do that, but we're gonna talk more about that in the coming weeks as far as accessibility in this platform and Zoom. We've done really well with Zoom in the past, and hopefully we're gonna continue with Zoom, but we want to make this more accessible. So thank you, Maria. Thank you, Maria. If anyone else wants to come on, say a quick hello. Please let us know. Allison, we'd love to hear from you. We miss you. It's so nice to see you, but I don't want to just have you come on if you're unable. No, of course
not. Next week, Team Poetry next week will be a bit of an interesting one. I'll give you an update. I've got my yearly, I've not had one for a while because of COVID, but my yearly checkup at Royal Manchester Eye Hospital on Monday next week. So I'll be letting you know how that all goes. It's funny, actually, one of my friends, an old friend of mine from when I used to work in car sales, who is still working in car sales here in Manchester, he called me a couple of nights ago and said that he was delivering a car, handing over a car in the showroom, a BMW, for one of his teammates, to a customer, and the customer turned out to be my retinal specialist.
Huh.
And it's called Professor Black, Prof Black. And when he came into the showroom, he was kind of not very talkative and kind of very guarded and not making much conversation with my friend. And as soon as my friend discovered that he worked as a retinal specialist at Royal Manchester Eye Hospital, he said to him, "Oh, my friend goes there, and he's got retinitis pigmentosa." And as soon as he said that, the professor's eyes kind of lit up, and he started talking a little bit about him. And he went, "Yeah, he's called Dave Steele, the blind poet." And he went, "Oh yeah, I know who he is." And all of a sudden, he became very talkative, and they were laughing and joking. So it was really quite nice to hear that.
It is a small world.
Yeah.
From our dear friend Dave, we're talking about the live transcript. Dave writes, "Change your diagnosis to RP. The captions go away."
Yeah, I bet.
So.
Okay, so I do have a piece of poetry to kind of finish off on, and I've written a lot over the last week. I've gone on a little thing of writing. I think it's because we are nearly at February, which is Low Vision Awareness Month, and I always tend to be very active during February. The Stand By Me RP books always came out in February because of that. So I wrote this literally, I think yesterday. I think I wrote 2 yesterday. And this one really talks about a lot of the things we've discussed tonight as well. So I want to leave you with this. Do you want to do the goodbyes after or before?
Yeah, after, yeah.
Okay. This tunnel view of mine is getting smaller all the time. I fight for independence as my precious sight decline. But sometimes it just gets too much to step outside my door. The world feels inaccessible. There's help, but we need more. The lack of education today that still exists makes people like me isolate. Opportunities get missed. To see the beauty of this world before my view is none. A race to see the faces as the faces almost gone. But I won't let this stop me, even if it makes me wait. I'll fight with all I have to change what demons contemplate. I'll talk about depression when others tell me don't. They say that it's a weakness. Stay silent, but I won't. There's far too many people who have felt they've no way out. Lost without a choice, but through my voice they'll hear me shout. This blind poet made a promise from the day I took this pen. To write here be for those like me, no more alone again.
There you go. You heard it first. Right here from Dave Steele, the blind poet. No problem. Allison wrote back. Thank you so much. All good. Happy New Year to you as well. We'll see you hopefully next week, Allison. Just want to thank everyone for their participation. As always, it's great to be here with this incredible family, the tribe, as Allison always says. Allison, even when you're not here, we always give you credit for the tribe. And we're going to work on getting the platform adjusted so we have everyone that has video going on, if they choose, of course. And yeah, I want to wish everyone good health and stay safe. It's a little crazy times out there, but I think as we push through, I think it's gonna be better off for the entire world in the next the next couple of weeks. So good stuff. So saying so long, and see you next week.
See you next week, guys.
By the way, just like Doreen, she loves tea and poetry. If you enjoy tea and poetry, go ahead, invite your friends. Get them signed up, as everyone knows here, no cost. And you can also watch all of the episodes, if you want to call it, on YouTube, on the Blind Poet channel. Stay tuned for exciting news and updates on Dave's whereabouts into the United States and much, much more. So great stuff to come. Staying so long, and we will see you. Look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.
See you soon, guys.
Thank you for watching Tea and Poetry, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Join us live every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UK. A big thank you to our sponsors, the Lanny D. Chesapeake Lighthouse and the Low Vision Shop. If you enjoyed Tea and Poetry, please invite a friend, like, share, and subscribe.